It's not on. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Everybody awake? All right, where are we from? York, Newport. I saw y'all all coming late, but that's okay. You're here now. You came for this one. That's what's up. Those other people who left gonna be mad. All right, my name's Jessica. I'm here today. We're gonna talk about, so you wanna be in cybersecurity. Anybody here because they wanna be here? Yeah? How many here because you were forced to be here? All right, you can be honest. You can be honest. But that's all right. We still gonna have fun. So what do I do? Well, I'm in cybersecurity. I also teach here at Harrisburg University for NuPaths, all about cyber. Mike is one of my students and colleagues. Great presentation. We're gonna piggyback off of what he said too. So today we're gonna talk about a couple different cybersecurity careers that might be of interest to you. Oh, forgot my clicker. Of course, there are many different cybersecurity positions available. And based on the agenda, you have a lot of great presentations today that you'll be able to talk about those. Welcome, come on in, come on in. Join us, join us. So we got York, Newport. Who else in the house? Where y'all from over there? Harrisburg. Lower Dauphin, fantastic. All right. Oh, what happened? Hold on, we gotta get the clicker working again. All right, so when you think about cybersecurity, what kind of careers do you think about? Pen testing. Why everybody think about pen testing? That's like the #1 position. How many of you guys want to be pen testers? I know there's more of you out there. What else comes to mind? Ethical hacking, that's pen testing, fantastic. Red team, blue team, purple team. What else? Over here, what do you think about cybersecurity careers? What comes to mind? Hacking? See, I told you, everybody wants to be a hacker. That's all right, that's okay. We're gonna talk about the other things besides hacking. Mike, what you wanna be when you grow up? Security awareness officer. Amazing. That means he's going to tell everybody how to do their job well in security. I love it. All right. Can't see the top of my screen here. I get rid of that. Move it. Can you help me out? There we go. What is cybersecurity? So I know you guys are familiar with cybersecurity. You have a whole day to talk about it, but I would be remiss if I didn't just give you a quick definition. So let's think about it like this. What if we didn't have any computers? You think we'd have cybersecurity? Why not? No computers? What do computers do? What kind of stuff? Let you do what kind of stuff? Data. Bingo. Data. Cybersecurity is all about data, whether it's personal data, your name, your address, your social, or your student ID, your grades, your financial, everything, right? Everything's on your refrigerator. We got the Ring doorbells. We got TVs online, you gaming. If we didn't have computers, we wouldn't need cybersecurity. So I want you all to remember that while we're talking. Cybersecurity protects the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of our data. What does that mean? Well, let's think of it from a banking perspective. How many of y'all like money? Okay, good. You in the right career. Say we go to the Mac machine, we want to pull out money, right? We have our debit card. We go to the Mac machine, we put in our card, we have to know our PIN number, right? That's unique to us, like the multi-factor we were talking about. So that's confidentiality. Only us know that PIN number, right? Well, when we go to the Mac, the ATM machine, we want to get our money, right? So that's availability. That money better be there because I need that money. Like I'm going out to lunch with my peeps, you know? Integrity. You'd be mad if your bank account sent $10 when you're supposed to have $100, right? You're like, where's my $90? So that is integrity. So confidentiality, integrity, and availability is called the CIA triad. Every single presentation you go to today is all about this. The CIA triad. All right, so that's what it's all about, our data, protecting our data, the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. What's this? What is it? I know y'all know what this is. How many people use TikTok? You can't raise your hand. You know, it's okay. We're in a safe space. I get on TikTok too. I was on last night. I try to limit it. So we're going to talk about a few cybersecurity careers as if we worked at TikTok. All right. You with me? Don't be TikToking this, okay? Coordinate. I'm watching you guys. All right, first one, application security developer. Does anybody know what application developer, programmer? Do you know what that role is? What is it? So application developer, programmer is a type of career pathway where you actually code, right? You make programs, you make applications, like our Windows that we use for Microsoft Word. TikTok is an application. Your Facebook, Instagram, all those socials, you know, applications, etc. Right? So we're going to pretend that we're an application security developer for TikTok. So what does that mean? Well, remember how we said it's all about protecting the data, right? So in order to protect the data, we implement something called security controls. So we want to make sure that the bad guys or the bad gals, they, them, the bad people out there, adversaries, hackers, they can't access our data. So we're working at TikTok, right? That is a worldwide web application available over the internet, right? Anybody can get to TikTok. So what we call that is an untrusted network. The internet is an untrusted network. So we want to make sure that we're restricting our text input. So like when you put in your name, your email, you don't want to have somebody put in like code or commands or something like that. It has to be alphanumeric. By restricting that, that means that we are limiting the possibility that the bad guy coming in through the internet can compromise our database. Session data encryption. I heard Mike talk about encryption. Who knows what encryption is? What's that? Good. So encryption is when you take what we call plain text and turn it into ciphertext. So you take just hello, everybody, and you randomize it into characters that nobody can read unless you have the key to decipher. So encryption is super, 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 super important. So application session and data encryption, that means nobody can see what you're doing. Data at rest, like I said, encryption is super important. Audit logs. So we're at TikTok. You think TikTok is watching everything you do? Who said no? Yes, they are. So is Google. Who uses Alexa? Who loves Alexa? You love Alexa, don't you? Sometimes. So who uses Google on their phone? Google Maps, Google Search, Google everything. I think I just saw Google's in a lot of trouble right now. They're watching everything. They're tracking everything that you do. So that's audit logs. That's all about audit logs. That's how they track everything you do. They track when you log in, what you do. That's why TikTok knows exactly what you like to watch. Why? Because they're watching you. They have audit logs. Documentation training is important so you know how to develop securely. Access control. We're going to talk a lot about access control because that's how the adversaries get in. It's all about access control, meaning your login credentials. Mike mentioned the importance of multi-factor authentication, right? A password and a user ID is not enough. We can buy a list of passwords, billions of passwords on the dark web for nothing. Don't go out there. All right, now we're going to be a pen tester. That's for you and you and you and all these pen testers. All right, so what's a pen tester? A pen tester performs technical testing against the code, application code, and the infrastructure supporting the application to find any vulnerabilities. What does that mean? We're looking for ways that the application can be exploited. Yes. Absolutely. The whole reason for, per my man right here, is pen testing is used to, or pen testing does what? Tell me. Say it again. Used for breaking in to apps or servers so you can patch it before somebody uses that exploit for malicious purposes. Absolutely. They're looking for weaknesses, and a lot of times it's because you have outdated patches, outdated hardware, outdated software, misconfigurations, weak encryption, open network ports. So ports are how you connect to the system, how you connect to the application. So there's a port that we connect to HTTPS. There's a port for file transfer protocol. There's a port for mainframes. How many of you guys heard of mainframes before? Okay. All right. I'm impressed. This must be my techie group right here. Where y'all? Are you guys from Harrisburg? Oh, okay. That's why. Dauphin County Tech in the house. Pen testing. Everybody wants to be a pen tester. That's okay. I love pen testers. I work with pen testers all the time. Pen testers are like the real world. If I was a bad person wanting to break into your organization, your network, your system, that's what pen testers do. They simulate and perpetrate as if they were the adversary. So we want to have ethical hacking going on, right? We want to have offensive and defensive ethical hacking because that allows us to identify where we have weaknesses that somebody else could exploit. And we want to find them before the bad people do, right? So pen testing is pretty cool. They do password cracking, social engineering. I think I heard somebody talk about social engineering. Who mentioned social engineering? What's social engineering? What's your name? Because I'm going to keep calling on you. Brady? So it could be company. So Brady said it's for getting somebody spill secret for company game. It could be company, but it also could be personal, right? So here in our example, we work for TikTok. So we're going to do ethical hacking on the ethical hacking or penetration testing on the application. So we can identify any weaknesses so nobody else can exploit them, right? When I say exploit them, use them for their personal gain. Social engineering, let's say Brady works at TikTok as a pen tester. He left his corporate issued laptop where he does all his pen testing on the application and infrastructure in a taxi cab in New York. And he didn't lock the screen, or it was an encrypted hard drive, or maybe somebody's just following him around and waiting for him to talk about his company and the relationships he has and looking for secrets, right? So social engineering, there's various forms of social engineering, but let me leave you with this on social engineering. If you think your information isn't valuable, it is. They might be using Brady to get to Brady's mom or Brady's, what is it, Braden? Sorry, Braden. It's Braden. Braden's brother could work for the NSA. Okay, so Braden might not be, his data might not be lead to an access of something confidential, but he might know somebody that is. So social engineering is a huge tool that pen testers use in order to gain access to a corporate network. Okay, so now we're doing risk and compliance. So this is actually what I do. I'm an auditor. I do audits for the federal government, state governments, and some private sector. It's actually a lot of fun. When people think of audit, they think of IRS and, oh, this is so boring, which it is kind of boring, but it's pretty fun too, because I get to tell people I get to find potential vulnerabilities, because it's all about finding vulnerabilities, and then we get to help them. So I work with pen test teams as well. So we review documentation. That's not always that fun, but for TikTok is a global organization. So they have to adhere to a lot of different regulations around privacy. The gentle lady in the back mentioned about privacy for emails, right? Privacy is a thing. Even though we don't really have that much privacy in the United States, we give our information away freely. I know where all you guys are literally most of the day, right? Because we're blasting it on social media. So we give up a lot of information. At the same time, we are signing away our rights for a lot of these organizations and applications to listen to us freely. But compliance is very important. So you can also think about it from like a legal perspective, right? Banking, financial institutions, they're regulated by, you might see the sign in the bank, FDIC, things like that. So healthcare, HIPAA. I know you guys are a little kind of young to sign documents when you go to the doctor's office. So risk and compliance auditing, we review the pen test results, we make risk-based decisions. How many of you know what risk, when I say risk, what do you think about what that means? What do you think risk? Good. Chance of something bad happening. Ooh, I like that. The risk of getting banned from TikTok. Now you're thinking like a TikTok risk and compliance employee. Yes. Very good. So, Braden. So risk from a corporate perspective, we're working at TikTok now. What the risk is that something bad could happen to the company. Absolutely. So when we think about it, what do I have to 40? Okay. When I think about it, when we think about it, risk, we make risk-based decisions every day. You made a risk-based decision by getting up and getting on a bus this morning. Should I get on the bus and go to school, or should I stay at the house and sleep? Well, if you stay at the house and sleep, there's a good chance that your parents gonna get on you. You're gonna miss work. You miss a test. You're gonna miss today. And subconsciously, you made a risk-based decision and said, it's worth the risk to get up. It's a lesser risk to leave than it is to stay at home in bed. So we make risk-based decisions every day. And it's the same when we're talking about cybersecurity vulnerabilities, because we can't fix everything. So that's why we have our risk and compliance team and our pen testing team, and why we have documentation and rules and regulations, because we want to make risk-based decisions on what our environment looks like. So we have, let's see, I'm gonna skip this one. So now we're at the Security Operations Center for TikTok, okay? And this goes in hand with what Mike was talking about with the emails, right? So that's just one thing that the SOC does. They monitor the environment. So they'll monitor emails that are coming into TikTok for spam. They'll monitor to see if they have attachments that have malicious code. They'll quarantine them. The SOC team also makes sure they look for, I added the first one just for you. Identify and monitor for deep fake, inappropriate accounts and posts. That could be a whole group, right? Because people use TikTok to post malicious intent. It spread false information, right? So they monitor for that kind of stuff as well. They scan the servers for vulnerabilities, viruses, malware, weak encryption, security misconfigurations. So when we say weak encryption and security misconfigurations, we mean that, not to get super technical, but in your network, we have servers, databases, firewalls, routers, switches, right? File servers. We have a bunch of different devices within our data center infrastructure that actually supports our application. So if those devices are unpatched, weak encryption, meaning an encryption algorithm that's been broken, all encryption is a very complex mathematical equation. But remember, encryption is when you jumble up, randomize your data. If you have misconfigurations within your infrastructure, within your network, within your servers, your devices, that is exactly how the bad guy is going to compromise your network. And you think about it, we can find everything online, right? So these adversaries, they are part of sophisticated groups. They have extensive resources, tools. They know much more than we do. As security professionals, The reality is we are on a reactive mode versus proactive, unfortunately. So this security operations center analyst, this is what I like to call the heart of your security program, because they are literally watching for abnormal traffic, irregular behavior, anything that's happening off hours. So let's say that I work here at the university and I have a badge, right? So let's say that the badge system goes off and says that I was riding the elevator at 11:30 at night. Well, nobody's here at 11:30 at night. There's no classes at 11:30 at night. Yes, I could be here to pick up paperwork. Maybe I left my briefcase or purse or whatever. But 11:30 is off hours. So what's going to happen? When I swipe my badge, it's going to send an alert to, the SOC team. And they're going to say, Jessica Hoffman shouldn't be here at 11:30 at night. Now with TikTok being global, we're going to break it up. So we're just talking about TikTok, United States. So if somebody badged in off hours to our offices in the United States, off working hours, that still should warrant some kind of alert. And that goes into the physical security as well. So badging, we were just talking about metal detectors, screening machines. So when you think about security, a lot of times we think about online, TikTok, online, our phone, our computer, our tablet, our TV. But let's not forget about the physical aspects, just like I said about the badging. So physical security is making sure that nobody can get to those servers supporting the TikTok application. Nobody can get to, say we have some soft data like paperwork. I'm sorry, hard data, paperwork. So we have soft data, hard data. Soft data is what we have on the computer, right? Our data, that's the whole reason we have cybersecurity. Hard data would be paperwork, like actual paper, which we don't use a lot of paper these days, printers and everything, but that still has data on it. So physical security, we see it all the time, TVs. When you go to places, you got to get signed in and escorted. How many of you all seen movies? Trying to think of what's a good movie where there's a huge data center with sneakers. That's kind of old. I don't know. Braden, you watch any? You haven't seen any new movies? Matrix. All right. Well, how many? Oh, that's an old movie too. I like you guys. All right. Well, everything's going to the cloud nowadays. So a lot of companies don't even have actual data closets or data rooms. I mean, we probably have one here at the university for these telecommunication and audiovisual machines, the desktops. I don't think that's VoIP, but local things here. But as far as student grades and student registration and scheduling, all that, it's not in any server here. It's all in the cloud. Which, how many of you think the cloud is a cloud in the sky with a lot of data? Nobody thinks that? Are you sure? Sure. Yes. So if they have a brick and mortar location somewhere, but we are contracting with a cloud service provider like Amazon Web Services, which I challenge you, every single website you go to in the hyperlink has AWS in it. That's Amazon. Microsoft Azure Cloud. We have who else? Salesforce, Oracle Cloud, all that good stuff. So anyway, physical security is just as important as logical. Okay. We got all that good stuff. I'm going to jump back here real quick to the compliance. So that physical security we talked about and the security operations center, this risk and compliance team, they are literally monitoring everything all those areas do, because they're assuming, or I'm sorry, assessing what risk is associated. Are they doing their job, basically? So that's what I do. I work with all the different areas within an organization, within TikTok, to see if they're doing their job, basically, and identifying where there are risks. Sometimes they're doing their job, but they just didn't know they weren't doing it fully. And remember, it's all about the data. We do this to secure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of our data. That's all it's about. So when you go through these sessions today, when you go through your cyber classes and readings and everything, remember, it's all about the data. So did you know that you got to delete your TikTok? Did you know that? No? Do you care? They are watching. They are watching. So now the big controversy is, and this isn't new, is that Chinese government, which is what we call nation state, China, Russia, Ukraine, Korea. We say they're all out to get us, but we're out to get them too. But they're listening to us and we're listening too. But the point is, it's been said, it's been validated that TikTok is storing our data, which we already know, but using it for malicious intent in another country. So the thing about cybersecurity is there are no regulations across the globe. So I have a couple slides here just for you guys. I know you're going to get a copy of this. So when you go further, you want to keep going in cybersecurity. I saw a presentation that today that's about you don't have to do the traditional go to college method. That is true, but I am an advocate for college. Certifications go a long way with experience. So as far as certifications, this CompTIA, Security Plus, Network Plus, those are the best entry-level certs you can get. I know a lot of students that get them in their senior year of high school, right after high school. So if you want to move on with your cyber career, strongly suggest you start with those two. But here's a list of some other certifications that, could potentially assist you, depending on what you want to do. If you want to be a pen tester, where is it at? I don't think I have it on here. Well, there's a couple ones. There's the Pen Test Plus, Advanced Security, Cybersecurity Analyst, also SANS Institute. There's a few of them if you want to do pen testing. But much like IT and other areas, other career pathways, there's a lot of things you can do. So my advice would be explore and have a yes mentality, because you never know what's going to happen. And I included this slide as well. We're not going to go through it, but this is a super cool diagram I share with all my mentees, all my classes I teach. I challenge you all throughout the day to listen to your speakers and think about a couple career pathways within cyber that interest you. And you'll have this chart and you can go through and kind of see where they fall within the cybersecurity domains. And then do your own research, and you'll get much more out of school, out of programs, mentorships. If you have an idea, you don't have to know exactly what you want to do, but I challenge you to identify a few things. All right, well, that's my time. So we all just went through TikTok. There's a lot of other organizations within that, a lot of other areas within TikTok that cybersecurity falls under as well, but those are just a few. So what you guys think? Are we pumped up? Are we awake at least? I feel really loud up here. A little hungry, I know. It's me and lunch, in between me and lunch. Any questions? Oh man, Mike had questions. Nobody has a question? So the question is, does every single company need a cybersecurity group, basically, or networking engineer? And so there's cybersecurity engineers, security architecture, network security. Absolutely, yes. The answer is yes. It's on different scales. If it's a small business, maybe you have most of your operations in the cloud. If you're a large company like a hospital, or Macy's or big e-commerce or something, Absolutely. Every single organization has a responsibility to implement cybersecurity. Absolutely. Yes. So the question is about social security numbers. So just to set a baseline, social security numbers are assigned to everybody at birth, right? And there are identifiable number as we go through life. You got to put your name, your social, all that good stuff. Social security numbers nowadays are worth nothing. Back, 20 years ago, they were worth some money because they were used for identity theft and other things, which they still are used for identity theft now. How many of you seen that movie, Identity Theft, with the comedian lady? No? Okay. That's an old person thing. So identity theft is still alive and well, but we've gotten more hip to it from an industry perspective. Like if your bank account runs dry, they're pretty good with reimbursing you. If somebody opens up a credit card or buys a car in your name, it's a hassle, but we can get through it. So social security numbers certainly do help to help in that regard for somebody if they were going to steal your identity and pretend to be you in order to basically rob you. But there's much more there are other identifiable information that is required now to verify you are who you are. So I'm not sure if did I answer your question a little bit? Yeah, okay. But protect your social. Okay, protect all of your information. Yes, sir. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, Braden. Okay. There's nothing new and exciting. It's all old and over it. But we are by nature stupid people. Okay, I'm just going to say it. It's true. Okay. How many of you use the same password for everything? Ah, gotcha. Okay. Let's see. What's another one? How many of you post on social like all the time of where you are, what you're doing, who you're with, where you been, pictures and everything? I should have showed y'all a video. Facebook is actually run by the CIA. They used to have to follow you around and go through bank records and everything to find out what you're up to, but now they just look on Facebook. For you guys, I guess it's TikTok. Yeah, there's really no new ways that they're stealing your identity, to be completely honest. Because like I said earlier, we are in very much reactive mode. These bad guys, these bad folks out here trying to get our stuff, they are professionals. This is what they do. Like when we go to work 9 to 5 or whatever, when you go to school all day, they go to an office as well. And that's their whole job is to steal data. And it's not like one company is after everything. They actually work together. So company A or group A, they're going to sell access. They already got access to the Harrisburg University corporate environment. They already have access to all your student records. They don't want to do anything with it. They're going to sell that access to somebody else. And that other group who's going to buy it, they're going to do a ransomware attack on Harrisburg University. And then they're going to contract to another company who's going to be customer service and contact Mike over there and say, hello, Mike. This is your customer service ransomware speaking. We demand 500 million crypto, Dogecoin or whatever. Call us back if you have any questions. So that's another group. So now we're up to 3 different groups. This is a business. So there's really nothing new, except I say they're much more organized. And the technology is just definitely surpassed. But they use the same oldies but goodies, looking for you to be weak passwords, weak encryption, poor cyber hygiene, social media, posts and everything. So great question. I know I'm over time, but does anybody? All right. Have fun today. Learn a lot. Good luck to you. Look me up on LinkedIn when you get to the time.